Welcome to Bitter Reality Brewing. This is part 2 of the Carried a Ride, which is the Irish Red Ale, which I did an Irish Red Rye Ale, my own take on it. And we brewed this last year and I did a 5-gallon batch using White Labs Irish 004. So I decided, you know what, let's brew a 6-gallon batch, scale it up a little and cut it in half and pitch 2 different yeasts and see what I think it was British 005 does from White Labs and compare the British White Labs 005 to the Irish 004. Okay, so I kind of speed carbonated this, cranked it up to 30 PSI, I threw it up on my shoulders, shook the hell out of it, cold crashed it the next day, brought the PSI back down. It's probably gonna be a little on the over-carbonated by a tiny bit, but it's all good. The only difference in this, basically my take of an Irish Red Ale, is, first of all, in case you don't remember, I did toast caraway seeds, and I don't even see it in here. I can't remember how much. I want to say it was 0.75. I'm pretty sure it was 0.75. If not, we can both go check the first video. But 3/4 of an ounce of toasted caraway. And I forgot how long it takes to toast caraway seeds. It took almost 10 minutes because you don't want to burn it and you want to just keep lightly toasting it until it starts to brown and the aromatics start to hit your nose. And that's when you take it and dump it in the last 5 minutes. Throw it in a hot bag because that stuff will clog up any pump. And the only big difference between the two is one had White Lab 004 Irish Ale Yeast and one had White Lab 005 British Ale Yeast. So we're gonna do a taste test. I got my son Drew here. I told him I'd put his Irish one in a little green, AKA green man glass, so he knows which one's which. The glasses are really getting chipped and scratched and everything else, so yeah, they are what they are. We'll deal with it. Yeah. Okay, they've been sitting for a minute, so. Head retention on 04 was about the same as 05, except it's gone down a little bit. It'll get better with time. I'm not worried about the head retention, it's looking good. I did put carapils in it this time. That was one addition I added because I didn't feel the head retention was good last time. This was the first pour of the 005, and of course I got a lot of foam from it.
Mine's fine.
Yeah, his is fine. Actually yours, okay. Looking on the lighter brown side, this is looking, it's lighter brown, it's still the red. It's the way they call it red. But very clear, even with all that flaked rye in there. I mean, I'm gonna say there's a little, yeah, there's some haze. There's definitely some haze.
They're about the same though, color.
But yeah, I don't see the fingerprints or notches, so yeah.
I have a big old green man on mine, so it blocks the light.
Excuses. Okay, now we should have been around 5.2 max on the ABV for a true Irish Red Ale. Yeah, you know me, I color outside the lines. The White Labs actually fermented on 005, the British, down to 1.008. Well, the Irish went all the way down to 1.005. 4 was bouncing around between 4 and 5, so about 1.0045 for the ones who really want to be technical. The 1.008 was bouncing around the 7 occasionally, but it really hung out at 8. So the British one is at 5.8% ABV, and the Irish one is at 6.2, 6.3% ABV. Which one do you want to try first?
Yeah, Irish, of course.
Okay, we're going Irish. Oh, man. You should get rye bread. I hate to poison the tree, but you should smell or taste a little bit of rye bread, mainly from the caraway and the rye blending together and kind of tricking your senses. And then I smell caraway, and then I smell a little bit of maybe rye, but definitely caraway, malts.
Kind of smells like caramel to me.
Caramel? I can smell the caramel behind it, the backbone.
It's like at the forefront for me, so I can't really
get past it.
Yeah.
I got a little toffee, maybe a hint of caramel, but a hint of toffee.
The rye's there.
Yeah, the rye is nice. The caraway seeds don't stand out as much as I remember them standing out last year, but I do get the lingering hint of rye bread that goes away pretty quick. It's the last thing. If you do it, you don't want to overdo it, or you're going to be feeling like you have carrot or rye bread shoved in your mouth.
Loaf of bread,
yeah, loaf of bread. You don't want that. That's gross. Rye is freaking really good. We're out right now, but we almost always have a loaf of rye bread in the house.
It's really good.
I'm gonna have to say one difference, and I don't know if it was the carrot.
Like the roast a little bit of it.
Yeah, and it had chocolate rye, only 3 ounces.
Okay.
Which gives it a hint of roast and helps with the color, but it's probably one of the smoothest red ales I've had in a very long time, compared to commercial ones even. I love reds, and I'm always trying reds, and The last few reds I've had in the past 2 years have not been that smooth.
I like this more than the Cigar City, the one with the tea name.
Yeah, the Tucabaga, I think Tucabaga has changed a lot, and it's not what I remember. My taste buds may have changed, but this is going to be, I'm going to say, my smoothest red ale I've ever made. The hops were a little high. I was almost at 30 IBU, which is a little outside the line. It was Southern Cross, which can give it a little bit of woodsy, or a little bit of hint of lemon. And lemon is complements just about anything. And then the wood, I mean, come on. Yeah, I can see the wood. I can almost think I taste wood now that I'm thinking about it. But
if you think about it, and you think about maybe like an oak barrel.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Very oaky.
It definitely is oaky, but I think that's part of the rye and the malt's playing, but it could be the hops too, kind of messing with our senses. I mean, there's oils in there from the hops. Okay, before we just keep slamming the Irish one, because that's what we brewed last year, let's go with the 05 British. Should be a little hint sweeter, just a tiny, tiny bit. Although lower ABV, we may not notice it because your tongue perceives alcohol as sugar or sweetness.
Smells kind of...
More mild to me.
Yeah, the scent's milder.
Very mild to me compared to
I
this.
think it's a similar scent, it's just milder.
Very mild. Because this one, you don't even have to breathe that hard. You smell it. It smells really nice. It's got all kinds of things going on. You can't get past the caramel. It's got all kinds of things going on. But this one, it's more subdued. I taste the malt in this one a little richer, but it doesn't...
A lot less of that chocolate and roast in it.
It's not... doesn't have as much going on. that's the only way, because this has so much going on. I mean, between the caramel, the caraway, the rye, everything's going on over.
I definitely like this one better.
Yeah.
But this is nice.
Still very smooth.
It feels like it's lighter.
It does feel, well, it is a little bit in ABV.
Like how much though? I can't remember what you said.
Like 4.4.
Oh, well.
It's very, very minor. I'm gonna say, and this sounds weird, but it's how I perceive things. It's got a much more mild aroma, much milder flavor, but the caramel flavor is kind of more rounded. It's just nice and smooth caramel. I get a little bit of rye lingering. I think I taste a hint of caraway. I'm not sure. But it's kind of like...
It's gonna sound really weird, but it kind of has a smell and flavor of like banana a little bit.
Just checking in for COVID. I'm sorry. That was a weird answer.
It does. I don't know.
Maybe he's thinking caramel.
Maybe it's because I had this first, but like...
Yeah. Yeah. Where's the temperature gun when you need one?
It tastes like a banana that you kind of let overripen.
Okay.
It's more in the smell.
Now that you've poisoned the tree, I can smell it a little bit. I don't taste it. I can definitely smell a hint.
It's not that hard to think, and then it's suddenly, I mean, it's close enough.
Yeah, when you tell me, I can kind of smell a hint. Very subtle hint. You know?
It's like a LaCroix banana. It's in the other room.
Oh, it's another room. I didn't know what a LaCroix banana was. I thought it was, one measure for size. I guess, England's not that far from Germany and Hefeweizen, but...
Yeah, like a Hefeweizen.
Yeah. I can see where you could say maybe a little Hef yeast was pitched too, but...
Mm-hmm. I can't remember what the style was.
The more I'm thinking, I'm starting to taste a Hef in there, which is weird. Just weird. Now I'm tasting, it's like a mildly dark Hef. That's just weird. I gotta go back here, hang on. Okay, so much aroma.
Yeah, not even comparable.
So much aroma. Only thing difference is the yeast. And it smells sweet. It smells like sweet caramel with rye.
Toffee, like you were saying.
Toffee. Oh, the toffee's huge. Because caramel's a little richer, a little darker, and that toffee's got that light right on the nose.
That's better.
Yeah.
For sure.
I should have brewed 6 gallons. Sorry, British. White Labs British 005. It's a good beer. If you had it, you'd be like, hey, this is a good beer.
But it's maybe not what you were trying to make.
Yeah. But then you had this, you'd be like, why did I drink that? This was so much better. Yeah, wow. And I've been giving out some of these beers like this, where they can compare them side to side, to some locals. So, it depends upon how much he takes tonight.
definitely taste it.
and how much I drink, there might be a lot of locals only tasting this, but I'll try to hook a few up if I can. It's hard lately. I've been very busy, but it is what it is. But yeah, 04, hands down, my go-to. You got to check out the stout video. I'll have that coming following this for the taste test. We had some problems with the stout, with the fermentation, and I had to figure something out, and you'll have to wait and see, but it's all good. It's all good, and hopefully it tastes great, but it's all good. So, cheers. Thank you for joining us here at Bitter Reality Brewing. Don't forget, like, subscribe, keep sharing. Definitely appreciate the sharing. Definitely appreciate the support. Yeah, I'm gonna go have a glass of 04. Thank you again. Yeah, that's damn good. When you get to the 05 and you're like, where'd it go? What happened? I mean, it's good.